Have you ever wondered which square a knight is more likely to be on? I mean, if you take a random chess position, which square will have the highest probability to have a knight? This is a question I'm gonna answer in this video. But first, let's see an example game so you can understand how I'm going to do this. So in the starting position, the two knights are on b1 and g1. Now let's say the first move is e4, e5. Neither of the two knights have moved, so those two squares will get a value of 1. But now if we play knight f3, then g1 square will stay at the value of 1 and f3 will also get a value of 1. And we basically do that for the whole game. If a knight gets captured, we obviously stop getting track of that particular knight. And at the end of the game, we will end up with a table like this one. To visualize things, we usually color the square with the highest value with a particular color, let's say red. The squares with the lowest value, which are the empty squares, with another color, maybe blue, and we fill the gaps in between. And we can use interpolation, fancy word for blurring, to make the graph look nicer. So I did this exercise not just for one game though, but for 2 million chess games. And I did it for all types of pieces, white and black as well. And let's see the results. So we are starting with the white pieces, and this is a heat map for the white pawns. Total numbers and also as a percentage of the total number of moves. Obviously we have no pawns in the first and 8th rank, and apart from the center pawns, the rest of the pawns are most likely to be found in their starting squares, with the h2 square having the biggest percentage. Knights on the other hand spend most of their time towards the center, with the c3 square having the bragging rights. One interesting observation is that despite the phrase "a knight on the rim is dim", this doesn't seem to apply for the 4th rank, where we can find a much higher percentage of knights on the rim than in the square next to the rim. Bishops are a bit more boring because they mostly stay in their starting squares, especially the dark squared bishop. Same goes for the rooks, although due to castling and how this piece moves, all the red colors are in the 1st rank. The queen, again, bright red on her starting square, and when she does get developed, she doesn't hang around in a particular square for too long. And finally, the king. And although their starting square is again red, it is not the most popular one because of kingside castling. So it is in the g1 square where you are most likely to find the white king, 36% of the time. And what I found surprising is that the queenside castling doesn't show that much in this heat map. Yes, we have this small increase in the b1 and c1 squares, but I was expecting a bit more, to be honest. Switching to the black pieces doesn't change things much. The heat maps are quite similar, just mirror images of those of the white pieces. What maybe is interesting to point out, which I could have also pointed out in the white case, is this blue area for the queen. Basically, you will very rarely find a queen in the kingside castling region. And finally, the black king, where the queenside castling is even less evident than in the white king's heat map. So that was it. If you can find some interesting patterns or observations that I haven't mentioned, feel free to post them in the comments. Also, if you are still here, that means that you have most probably enjoyed this video. So I encourage you to capture that like button with your mouse, subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more chess related content. Have a nice day.